Hello everyone, this is Terry Candlestick and welcome back to Echo. We're finally going to start the next route to see who we're going to go with. Just a little bit of suspense here. Who is it going to be? Maybe a little drum roll? I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail that I had used to get to Lake Emma. TJ! TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though I can't imagine he'd go to the lake. I should go with them to help find the links. I'm also a little worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed off. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against a big shoulder on the shore. Bittersweet memories flood in. That rock is almost as much a staple of my childhood as the actual lake is. It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy and gold-tinted, but always has a hint of sadness about it, no matter what the situation was. Jen is standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. I can't see his face, but his posture is sagging and his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward about intervening at this point. Leo occasionally shakes his head, then takes out his phone to look at it. I can see Jenna's getting annoyed, but then she says something and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna's beckoning me with her paw while Leo isn't looking. I start stumbling over the rocks towards them as Leo looks back down at his phone, and Jenna starts walking towards me. Just talk to him. He'll listen to you. Now here's your big decision. Which one are we going with? They're going to go with Jenna? Jenna is such a conclusive route. It really ends it. So we're going to go with big ol' Leo. She passes by me, going back towards the trail. I think that's still Jen's voice. Sure, he'll probably listen to me, but I have no idea what to say. The rocks are actually hard to navigate, especially when you don't have any protection for your feet. I'm almost to a boulder when my foot catches on an edge of rock and I yelp and fall forward, knees first into sharp rocks. Ah! Pain shoots up my legs and my eyes clench shut as I cringe silently. Shit, you alright? I look up and see Leo looking down at me, his ears up now at the sound of my fall. Yeah, fine. Leo frowns and reaches over with a paw which I grab onto and pull myself up with. I make my way around and being a little more careful about where I put my feet as I position myself next to him against the boulder. I put both my paws behind myself and heave myself up on top of the boulder, letting my legs dangle over the side. Ugh, I'm so damn clumsy. You're an otter. Wow. Asshole. I say it jokingly, but Leo's not really smiling. Instead, he sticks a paw back into his pocket and pulls out a slightly flat-looking cigarette. I give a start and stare. I shouldn't be surprised. I could smell it on him when I first got here. It's just that I'm not used to seeing him do it. He started right after I left. He pulls out a lighter, lights it, takes a drag, then blows the smoke out the side of his muzzle, away from me. You're meant to swim, not walk on rocks. I mean, technically, Carl is built for that. and he's still falling down all the time. I think that's because Flynn's always tripping him with his tail. Speaking of Carl... Grunting, I lean over sideways and look at the side of the boulder. I find what I'm looking for instantly. A series of chips and scratches outlining the rough figurine of a canine with a long cape and an S on his chest. Ha ha ha! It's still here. Carl's drawing? Shit. I forgot about that. Never finished it, did he? Nah, but it's still pretty good. Remember how Superwolf was the only thing you talked about that summer? Hehehe, yeah. And the movie wasn't even that good. Yeah, he loved it though. Yeah. And I guess that's all that's really mattered. Leo grimaces and reaches over my knee. I wince and look down as he puts his thumb and index around a cut that I hadn't noticed until now. Blood is oozing through the fur and leaking down my shin. We'll need to clean that out. I shrug. It's not that big of a deal. Nah, we'll stop at the convenience store and get some peroxide. There's some nasty shit around this lake. It's fine, seriously. Just to be safe. I smirk. Safe? Like this? Reach up and grab a cigarette dangling from his lips. He's quick, though, and whips his head away before taking it out of his muzzle. Hey! Don't hey me! What the fuck are you smoking? Why the fuck are you smoking? His ears fall flat again, and he glares. Why the fuck do you care? He spits that out with so much venom that I lean away from him, eyes wide. He's never talked to me like that before. And I was joking too. Were you really joking, Chase? What? Leo quickly looks away and doesn't say anything. I stare at his face for a while, watch his eyes flick around as he just shakes his head. Are you still mad at me? We talked. Of course I'm still mad, Chase. Talking doesn't just fix 3 years. All the progress I thought we made on Saturday was an illusion. Leo's just as upset as he'd always been about what happened. I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say, Leo? That I was wrong to leave? That I should have stayed here? Not leaving me in the dark would have been a good start. Yeah, I fucked that up. But it happened, and I can't fix that. What do you want me to say now? Leo stretches his arms out to either side in one giant shrug. I don't know. This is already familiar. A distant past flashes, or 1,000 past fights flash through my mind. Did we ever agree on anything? I slide off the boulder and Leo snaps his muzzle towards me, probably thinking I'm gonna leave. Instead, I lean one paw against the rock as I turn to glare at him. It feels better yelling at someone standing up rather than sitting down. Oh, I know exactly what you want. Oh, do you? You just want me to drop everything and come back here, back to Echo. When did I ever ask you to drop anything? I just want to know if you're coming back. How am I supposed to know that? Why can't you plan ahead farther than next week? I swear, it's always like this with you. I let out an exasperated laugh. I'm 21. I don't fucking know anything about anything. How should I know what I want?
Well, I'm here. Don't you want to come back and live with me? We always planned for it.
His voice softens and I pause, thinking about it right now. Thinking about it right now, it is something I would want. It's just...
Is Echo so bad that its negatives outweigh my benefits?
I mean... I gesture at the town in the distance, looking as shitty and rusted as ever. And then to the lake, looking as shitty and mucky as ever. And then to the desert around us, looking as shitty and dry as ever. I let the scenery speak for itself. So... yeah.
Leo rolls his eyes. Poor chica, Otter. I'm starting to think you just want an excuse not to be around me.
I'm trying to think if what Flynn said was true. He looks straight at me, eyes narrowing over his muzzle, his nostrils flaring.
What? I'm not obsessed with you? I miss everyone, that's all. Is that wrong?
I go quiet for a while and turn to look back over the lake, squinting at the bright, reflective flashes of light. It can be. But then, I don't even know if he's telling the truth. He'd never say whether or not this whole thing he'd planned was just for me. He doesn't say anything, we just sit there for a while. Even for a wolf, his whole sticking together thing is a little intense. He brought us together at the very beginning, sure, but after Sydney it was on a whole different level. He'd barely even let us out of his sight. Let us leave his sight. That's when I noticed a dark figure across the lake, walking on the side of the road. It's Flynn, and he's heading back to Echo. I can see that Leo spotted him too, his ears and eyes following him, but he doesn't say anything. Finally, I speak up. So, is what he said about me true?
No.
He says it quietly, but the answer's instant. Really? Leo takes another drag on the cigarette. Weirdly enough, I actually kind of like the smell of the smoke. You know, honestly, I do too. Secondhand smoke. It kind of smells nice.
I think his problem with you is that you don't act like you used to as a kid or teenager. He's told me before. I mean, you used to be a snarky motherfucker. Even more than you are now.
My heart sinks. Yeah?
Yeah. You grew up, mellowed out.
Again, my insides twist and I don't trust myself to speak right then. Leo gets to rung it in, smiles, putting his arm around me and pulling me up to his side.
What he said about everyone was total bullshit, especially Jana.
His whole family mantra did have its limits. The fact that Leo is so defensive of Jenna's decision to leave her family shows what a piece of shit they really are. I'm just glad that he's changed the subject, though. Leaning my head on his shoulder, I let his hold comfort me. He's still watching Flynn.
Chica! I can't fucking believe he did this now. Idiot! Idiot!
Leo shouts it loud across the lake, and, if I could, I'd lower my ears like a canine. I see the small figure that is Flynn turn around and look back at us. He stays like that for a while. It looks like he's examining us. Finally, he turns back around and keeps going towards Echo.
Fucking idiot. How the hell am I gonna go ahead with that? With what I planned this week?
In the past, Flea would have had his blow-ups, then get over it, and so would we. But this time really did feel different. It was like he'd been chipping away at our group for years, and finally this is what broke it into pieces. Now there's no putting things back together. Maybe it would have been better if we didn't come back here. It's sort of my fault.
Nope, it's Flynn's fault. Stupid to blame yourself.
I don't know. We've always had problems. Probably would have been better to just leave things as they were.
No! Jesus, why does everyone act like this whole thing, Echo, our friendship, is some kind of horrible tragedy? Wait, let me get the R in there. Horrible tragedy. It hasn't exactly been a walk in the park.
Wait, that was Chase. It hasn't exactly been a walk in the park.
Life isn't a walk in the park. This is where we come from. Find some good in it. Instead of bitching about everything, it could be so much worse. My parents told me stories about their hometown. And compared to where I was born, this isn't shit.
He huffs out smoke through his nose, not bothering to blow it away from me this time. I'm engulfed in the smell of tobacco.
I mean, not to be an asshole, but you gringos have it easy. My mother got a phone call almost every month telling her they'd killed my dad just because they had money.
Leo's always been good at making me feel like a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. His arm tightens around me and I turn my head to rub my nose into his chest. I can smell his musk under the heavy deodorant. It's a familiar smell I like.
Don't be. I mean, we all play our cards, right? But I have to try a little more have a little more perspective.
He leans his chin on the top of my head. I feel like we should have some boundaries since we're not exactly a couple anymore, but this feels right.
I love this town, and I love you guys. I just want things to work out. Not to lose touch. We had something really special.
You're such a wolf.
Hehe. Thanks.
I lay a paw on his thigh and rub it slowly, thinking. I mean, is there really no way you could leave with me? It would make things so much easier.
Please, don't ask that. I can't leave them. I could never do that. You know this.
Of course I did. We've argued about it over 100 times already. I squeeze his thigh. So, are you still mad at me? I listen to Leo breathe in deeply, my head rising with his chest.
No, Otter, I'm not mad. We just have a lot of things to figure out, but we will.
I guess that's as good place as any to leave off, so I move on to another subject. So now that Flynn's fucked up the trip, what do we do next?
He hasn't. We'll fix this. Just go to get that dumbass to apologize. But once I do, we'll have a birthday to plan.
I raised my eyebrows in surprise. It wasn't anyone's birthday anytime soon.
Huh?
Whose birthday?
Carl's. Carl?
His birthday wasn't until the end of April. Literally a month away.
It's early, really early. I know, but I'm kind of limited here on ideas of what we can do.
I guess that makes sense. So, when's that gonna be?
Wednesday. Wednesday. We need to buy this stuff tomorrow, and I have the day off.
Leo looks at his phone again.
Speaking of which, I need to drive you guys back so I can get back to work.
Well, alright. I'm not doing much else tomorrow. I should be working on a project, but I've got plenty of time. Leo slides off the boulder and turns back to me.
I'll ask Gina and TJ too. I'll let Flynn cool off for a day.
Do you know where TJ went?
Yeah, he just texted me that he wanted to be left alone, which I understand.
I get off the boulder as well, and Leo reaches a paw out to me.
And this time, watch where you're walking. Hold on to me.
That's probably a good idea. And for this first episode of Leo's Route, that's where I'm going to leave it. So, I would like to know how you are enjoying or not enjoying the accents I'm giving Leo. Because I think I remember somewhere that he had reduced his accent quite a bit. Like he worked hard at it. So if that is, so I believe that's true. Let me know how you feel about me giving him the accent. Because I don't know if it's offensive to others, to anyone. If you do find it offensive, of course I'll stop. I'll just try to put in a little bit of like the way they say their vowels, and I'm trying to get those rolling R's in there since that's a big part. But hopefully everyone's enjoying it. Any parts of it that you would prefer me to not continue, please let me know. And I will appreciate the feedback. And of course, thank you for watching or listening. And I will see you next time. Bye.